Hey, it's Doug at Backcountry Pilgrim. I am out here to talk to you about rucking. Rucking comes from the word rucksack and is basically weighted walking. It's walking or jogging, exercising while carrying a backpack that is loaded down with additional weight. It's a good middle ground, especially if you find walking to be too easy but running to be too hard. By adding weight, you're basically adding cardio and strength training. The best things about rucking is that you can get started for free. Just get out of bed, put on a backpack, and head out the door. This gives rucking a pretty low barrier to entry, as there is essentially almost nothing to learn because you probably already know how to walk. So there's a sense in which you've been training to ruck for all of your life. Now, to get started, any backpack will do. You might want to just throw a water bottle in there. Water is actually pretty heavy for its size. If that doesn't do it, wrap up a brick or a plate or two off of one of your barbells, throw in some bags of rice or sand. All you're basically doing is adding a bit of weight to your carry. If you don't have a lot of experience hiking, walking around with a backpack, you're going to want to start light. You probably want to go 5 to 10% of your body weight max to get started. The average ruck is about 30 pounds for people that have been doing it for a while. The idea is to move out of your comfort zone, but not into the pain zone. Injuring yourself is only going to mess up your progress. Now, if you do decide to up your game and you want to get into some better equipment, stuff that is made specifically for rucking, you might want to look at a ruck-specific backpack. Now, I got started with one of my cheap Chinese tactical day packs, and I just pulled a couple plates off of my barbells, stuck them inside with a foam pad to protect my back, and hit the street. Now, I pretty quickly learned that a cheap backpack is really not meant to carry very serious weight, and it was hurting my shoulders pretty bad, to the point where even though I wasn't that tired yet, I was so uncomfortable that I really wasn't willing to go on. So I started doing my research into good rucking backpacks and quickly discovered GoRuck, and then there is pretty much everything else. GoRuck backpacks are specifically made for rucking, and their Rucker 4.0 is without question the top of the food chain when it comes to rucking gear. And I was extremely excited when GoRuck agreed to send me their Rucker 4.0, what GoRuck calls the gym on your back. It is purpose-built for rucking, specifically because it has elevated pockets on the interior designed specifically for ruck plates, which are specially designed weights that, when carried in a good rucking backpack, keep the weight centered and close to your back. They are also not so wide that they interfere with your shoulder blades. Now, the GoRuck Rucker 4.0 comes in 3 sizes, 15, 20, and 25 liter, not much of a price difference between them. The 15 is definitely not built for the heavier weights that the 20 and 25 can carry. In fact, it only has one plate pocket, and that means that you're going to have one plate that is exactly the weight that you want. Both the 20 and the 25 have one standard size plate pocket and one long size. The nice thing about this is that it's a little easier to mix and match the weight plates so that you, or maybe someone that's borrowing it from you, are going to be able to dial in that weight with a lot more precision. Now, the 25 is pretty overbuilt for extremely heavy carry. I wanted something that could grow with me, so I didn't want to just go with the 15. I found the 20 liter to be just right. I got it in the black core color with the insanely bright orange interior. This is a seriously over-constructed day pack. It's unassuming 18 by 11 by 5.5 inch deep. Form factor may not look that impressive. However, as soon as you heft its 3.5 pounds, those of you who are used to carrying day packs will know that you are handling something very different. The materials are one of the first giveaway of the quality of this rucking backpack. It's made with 1000D Cordura. This pack is going to take an extreme amount of abuse before it has any issues. It is highly water resistant, but since you're probably going to be dragging this thing through the mud and opening it in the rain, it does have bottom grommet drain holes. The straps are extra padded, and it's not that cushy pillow kind of stuff you find with Osprey and other overnight backpacking type brands. These cushion straps are built to carry weight. Now, it should be noted that for those of you used to hiking backpacks, the 20 and the 25 liter GoRuck Rucker do not have a hip belt. The idea is that by moving the weight onto your hips, you are actually defeating the purpose of the Rucker backpack in activating certain muscles that wouldn't be if you weren't wearing the pack. Because of the pack's form factor, I didn't really think that a hip belt or in this case what would probably be a belly belt, would really be all that useful. It does have an adjustable and removable sternum strap. The pack sits high and tight and is very well fitted without it, so this is just one more piece of equipment you don't want to have to worry about. The pad is extraordinarily comfortable, with an interior frame sheet to keep the load adjusted correctly, and the addition of a lumbar pad makes this pack very comfortable even with pretty extreme weight in it. I immediately felt a world of difference putting on the GoRuck Rucker versus my cheap little tactical backpack that I had been using. In fact, it was quite a bit more comfortable with a 30-pound plate in it than my little Chinese backpack had been with only 20. On the outside, you're going to find multiple handles. This has to do with different activities that the rucking packs are sometimes used for besides going on the walk or jog. There's a hook and loop patch on the front of the pack and on the interior plate pocket to add morale patches, which you will probably need if you are going to try to get into rucking. Now, the exterior of the pack has no pockets, no organization whatsoever. It is very simple. It is meant to be very clean. However, the bottom of the front and the sides do have several rows of MOLLE compatible loops, so you are able to add PALS type webbing gear to it. And very importantly, the shoulder straps have the same webbing going up and down the front of them, and so you are able to easily add accessories to the shoulder straps. Getting inside the pack is very simple. It only has one big overbuilt YKK zipper. It's very quiet and has glove-friendly zipper pulls made from 550 paracord, of course. Once unzipped, the GoRucker opens flat, which makes it very easy to organize and find your gear. In addition to the plate pockets, on the front panel, you have both an internal mesh pocket and an internal Cordura pocket. The mesh measures 11 by 10 inches, and the Cordura 11 by 6.5. You also have a D-ring to hang a hydration bladder and a tube exit port under the handle. All of the GoRuck Rucker 4.0s run about $250, plus or minus $5 or $10 depending on the size. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Backcountry Pilgrim if you are into hiking, camping, backpacking, and the gear that goes with it. If you are interested in this GoRuck Rucker backpack or the plates or anything else they make, have a look in the description below. I've got a link for you that I'd appreciate you using. Until next time, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching.